Alright, we're gonna run some quarters this morning. Get these quarters out of the way. Almost spill my coffee. Investable collectibles. What's up, my man? What is up? Good morning. I'm gonna get through some quarters today. Probably take a good hour and a half. So the Minnesota error's got to be on the key. Check them all anyways, just to make sure there ain't something we're missing. Ooh. I always like those vintage mystery purchases. When are you going to go through them? I might have to watch that for sure, whether you're going to do it live or do it on a video. I think I want to keep this stack of Minnesota's out. Just because being from Minnesota, feeling most of these probably are going to be D's, I'm thinking. But if it's not the P, we'll still give it a check just to make sure there's not a outstanding die crack or die chip. If we see a P, then we've got a shot at an extra tree. Probably do about 2 hours here today of checking these quarters. I want to get through my quarters. Sunday, all right. I'll have to keep an eye out. Otherwise, you're going to do it on a video. Just a recorded video. So you don't know what you got. In the lot, you just seen a couple of cards or something like that. Oh, there we go. There's a P. So we got a shot at a extra tree, possibly. Actually, I'm probably going to stay live for as long as my phone holds out power, I'm guessing. No extra tree there. Everything looking pretty solid on these.
Waiting for a spot on an angled line. Drive to the outside, waste my time. Took my place high on the rise. Look at them ants push away their prize. But I'd be free as a bird.
Purchased these on auction. All I get was a pile type photo of crop rotation on the top. 200 cards, though, you said, huh? Could be interesting. Could be interesting. Two lots of 100 cards for 8. Wow. You probably get a something's. Well, you're going to definitely get your money back if it's vintage. I would guess you definitely are going to end up with your value. A lot of Denvers in this lot here, I think. But you never know where you might find a nice die chip or crack. You know, probably 100 nickel or 100 quarters to go through today if I can get through them this morning. Maybe tonight we do another coin roll hunt. Oh, investable. My brand new metal detector is on order. So we will also be doing some dig videos this summer. Ancient tomb? That's not a bad find. Yeah, I gotta bring some magic packs back into the After Dark streams. Just I have not had a set that is like I've gotten real excited about. You know, I didn't spend a dime on Aether Drift. I'm guessing probably I'll spend a little bit on Final Fantasy, but I'm not gonna go crazy on Final Fantasy either. Yeah, I mean, you know, this far north, you don't have the, you know, the Civil War areas and stuff that you got down south, but probably still find a couple decent spots. I'm gonna have to figure out, I don't know, like a website or something. I want to go out and spend a lot of time. A lot of what I'm going to do video-wise with the metal detector is probably going to be on our land. I know there's at least one old homestead on our land. I just got to really kind of figure out where it was. Oh, he's got golden streams. I ended up, which one did I get? I got a Garrett. So it's a Garrett Ace 300. It's not an extremely expensive one. I want to say it's about $300. But I like that you can, got a pretty good discrimination setting where you can like make sure you aren't picking up foil and tin, and you can kind of really weed out a lot of that trash type stuff that you don't want to dig for. They're all pretty clean coins. Like I said, the extra tree is only known to be on the Philadelphia. So. We know we ain't got a Philadelphia. We just kind of give the coin a general check. He must have gotten like a ton of these uncirculated Denvers. I'm going to keep all these Minnesotas just because it is our state. These I won't turn in for more coins. Really coming across too many P's. We've only had one Philadelphia. So he must have, like I said, he must have just ended up grabbing a ton of, I don't know, he might have even bought rolls when these came out from the mint. Oh, there's a P. A little bit more worn. So, to give you an idea what we're looking for, at least for the tree, the extra tree. So right there after the state of Minnesota, you've got 4 trees from left to right headed east. And after that 4th tree, in between the 4th and that 5th, you can find like another set of a doubling tree that's not supposed to be there. I set the peas aside. I don't know why, but looks like the D's are the really good shaped one. That's why I'm thinking he probably got a roll of them from the mint when they were released. And it seems like when I do hit a Philadelphia, it seems to be a little more worn on the point. Try to give each side a 5 to 10 second look just to make sure. I kind of got a system of starting at the mint mark and then just kind of spinning around. There really isn't any other documented chase errors on the Minnesota that I'm really aware of. And it's always possible to, on any coin from any mint, to find double striking. Not always double die, though. The double dies, you usually need the one that's known. Sometimes you can get some cool double striking. But these are pretty clean orders. But like I said, a die chip or a die crack can be on just about any. I'd say we're about halfway through the Minnesotas. A lot of Denvers. So to give you an idea of what we got to go through, basically that. Oh, and I got the Minnesotas down here. And then another roll of, I don't know what these are. This is a whole roll of Washington. These are a whole roll of Washingtons. And I don't know if there's a documented error on Washington or not, but I think I've seen some people finding some pretty good die chips and stuff. Yeah, these are definitely, he bought these from the mint. It's definitely these. Most of the coins that I got from this collection are uncirculated. These have never seen a pocket. Might be even worth sending one or two of these into the grade. I'd like to find a nice die chip or something. Like on the bird, on the moon there or something. That'd be kind of neat. A lot of times you can find die chips like in the letters or the numbers of the date or something like that. I think I'm a bigger fan of finding die cracks. There's a P. There we go. That's what we're looking for. The P's just don't look like they're as well struck. Which is maybe why the documented extra tree comes out in the Philadelphia. Not there. Not there though. You can see how Minnesota's just not really struck as well. So there are a few Philadelphias in here. It'd be really cool is to find an extra tree on a Denver. See how how Denvers just look like they're struck a little bit better? They're just probably another 20 Minnesotas here to do. I got the coin vault on the big screen as we're doing this, so I can see if there's something I gotta order. Nothing standing out. Definitely some clean quarters. or a cool strike through. That'd be kind of cool. Something in the die that caused the strike through. A lot of Denvers. That's all right. I always check the trees for a die chip or something that might be up there. Looks like that might be a little bit of that's just damage. Are any of those in good enough condition about thinking about grading? Well, they're all uncirculated. I think what he did is he probably bought rolls from the mint when they first came out and stuff. I mean, they definitely don't have, they're all MS for sure. If they would grade. I checked the trees for Bigfoots. I just don't know, if they'd grade really, really high. Because you can kind of see there are flaws. But they're definitely gonna grade in the MS area. Because if they're not under a microscope, if you're just looking at it from the sense of the coin, I mean, these haven't been pocketed at all, so. But I just don't know about, where in MS it would end up being. I mean, if I found an error that I wanted to save, I would grade that regardless, maybe, on any of these. Because to have an error that was in the MS, that's a little different. Littlefoot. You been here before? I almost feel like I've seen your name before. Oh, these would definitely, I mean, every single coin on my mat right now is definitely book worthy for sure, without a doubt. They're all book worthy. That there's no question of. I mean, I suppose I could just continually flip these for billers for people. That's awesome. I don't know if you were in here when I was talking about, what we're looking for is that extra tree, if you're familiar with it. But it needs to be on a Philadelphia, and most of these are turning out to be being old Denvers. You been here one time before? Okay. I do mostly lives. I do have videos on the channel, but most of the videos on the channel are just, they're cut out of a live. So like if I find something or I'll do like the last video is like a recap of the nickel hunt that I did the other night. I do very little, like just set up and record a video. To me, these are just a little more fun to sit around, do a live chit chat. I was gonna say, I see like some of the hearts and stuff going, and appreciate that. No big errors. Looks like I got about a half a dozen more. And we're gonna get on to looking at some general dates and states. Got a roll of, what did I say these were? Washingtons? But I don't know if there's an actual known Washington error or not. We might just be looking for miscellaneous on the Washingtons. All right, five more Minnesotas, and I'm guessing we're not going to get another P because they were scarce in this pile of Minnesotas. Yeah, I've heard different things, and people talk about the YouTube algorithm and stuff. I guess I'm not one that really worries about like views and stuff like that much. I mean, it's cool. It's always cool to sit and do this and then have people actually hear that are chatting. But I don't really make too much with the thought of, oh, this is going to get a lot of views. I have yet to find a West Point. I have not come across the West Point yet. Did you buy them investable, or did you actually find them? I think they got to be 19 or 20s, right? 2020 or 2019, if I'm mistaken. I don't think there's another quarter year that's West Point. I'd have to look to make sure, but I know there's 19 and 20s. You found them? You found them as we're talking about them? Or you found them? That's what you meant. I thought maybe you found them where they are right now. You've got them at a pop machine. Oh, yeah. I do not have well, unless I come across something here, but I do not have a single West Point to my name. Well, I don't know how good the information is. Littlefoot. If you actually read my channel description, I think it's been a while since I've done anything with it. Last one's a D. But I think my channel description actually says something like, don't expect any deep thought out analysis of things on the side of cards and coins and stuff. I think they only made 10 million of that. 2 million of five different types. Okay. All right, I think that was the stash of Minnesota. So let me get these set behind me. Yeah, I so want to find a West Point. I probably have to buy more quarter rolls. I should probably buy more quarter rolls to hunt. Because I'm a big 1952 from the car wash recently. That's awesome. I'm a big fan of nickels and pennies. Alright, so let's see. Now we're going to be doing just this general pile. There's a 2021. And this one here, the actual known documented one that everybody looks for, is that die chip on the hat, on the top of the hat. And they say you can find big enough ones that it will cover up. It'll be big enough. It'll cover up this E and PL if you get a really good sized one. And then I think I've seen some talk about die chips on his sleeves, right around his hand and stuff. So we're just, like I said, we're into just a general pile of them that somehow I obtained. So we're just going to see. We're just going to see what comes out of this pile. It doesn't look like there's anything old coming out of this pile. Here's a circulated something. The only thing that I don't particularly like or enjoy about some of these new designs and stuff is they're actually so busy that you could easily like just zoom right past, like an error. Like I think I remember thinking that under the R is an error on this, and it's actually, if I can find another one. I don't know if I can. But that is actually part of the actual coin, because I forget what that was, but that struck me as an error when I first saw it, or something, and then I was like, nah, that's actually part of the design. It's what I don't like about these busy designs on some of the new quarters or any of the new coins that are that busy. I think I've heard of die chips on the wings of the plane. That looks pretty clean. No hat die chip, no sleeve. Yeah, looks pretty clean there. Oh yes, you are correct. The burning plein air. That's, I think, what they call it. The burning plain area. You are right. I found now this is probably not going to show up that great since they're in flips, but so I found the other day, I found two versions of the Kansas 2005 In God We Rust, and this one's actually light struck on the G and the O in God too. And I actually found two of them. There's one where the G and the O are a little bit better, but the T is obviously light struck, so I was pretty stoked to find those. And here's a big find the other day. So here's a 64. And I don't know if it's going to show up through the flip. But that is straight up the repunched mint mark there on a 64 Kennedy. I spun by that and I was like, wait a minute, that looks like a repunch. All right, back to the quarter search. I think I might send that one in to get graded. Because for it being the 64, it is in really good shape. That's probably going to be an MS to some extent. What we got here? 23. You collect like a pirate. I'm becoming more and more, well, obviously, look what I'm sitting and doing, but I'm becoming more and more an air chaser. Yeah, probably those are probably my best finds so far. Yep, the enhanced hair. Yep, you wanted to look for enhanced hair. Let's see. Nothing there. Don't look like there's anything on the sleeve. I'd like to come out with something this morning. Yeah, I think I got a couple proofs from that year too that I should go back and look at. I mean, these, for the most part, are pretty boring streams. So I don't expect a lot of people to pop in, but there's a 1971 in old Denver. And then I've always said, you know, as far as the double dyeing and stuff like that, the older the coin is, the harder it is to like say, oh yeah, it truly is a double dye or something. Because usually when you got the pocket wear, it wears a lot of that right away. And I like to be like, so I like to be on the air side of things. I like there to be like no question, you know. I don't want to have to convince myself that I'm looking at a particular air. So that's like with those In God We Rusts and stuff. It's like, yep, there's no doubt that that's one of them. That's what I'm looking at. Those are the errors I like to find. You know, or obviously like really heavy doubling or something. Like that repunch D on that Kennedy. I mean, that stands out like a sore thumb. You know, you don't have to convince yourself or convince somebody else that you have a doubled mint mark there. Or I just don't like going down the road of being like, I don't know, is that double dyed or is that, you know? And what took me the longest to kind of learn what I was looking at is the difference between true double dye and what is just, some people call it mechanical striking, or double striking. And there is a difference where, like when I first started, I hit several coins that I was like, oh, that looks like a double dye. And then the more I look at it, and once I truly learned what I was looking at, it was like, no, that's just double striking. It's not an actual double dye. Littlefoot, you would disagree. All right, tell me what you're disagreeing on. Like I'm being too hard on finding what might be an error. Tell me what you're disagreeing with. Let's see. I'm kind of going through these, trying to pick out the ones that I know there's something particular to look for on a coin. Here's a nicer condition 21. And there's so many errors and stuff, you know, that I often have to go to either my books, go back to my book, or go to the internet to like re-look at, you know, what is the error on this particular coin. Now there's an 83. Well worn, that looks like a P to me. I'm guessing that was definitely at one time a Philadelphia P. So like on something like this, you know, I kind of look at it differently. It's like, what I'm really looking at on this is there an obvious die crack or a dye chip or something, you know, because I just can't go down the road of saying, oh, there's double dyeing on a coin in that condition. $65. I didn't realize there was a 65 in here. Holy smokes. Oh, that's what you're disagreeing with. I thought you were disagreeing on how I'm looking at possible mint errors. So 60s are like my cutoff decade. Like if you watch any of my coin roll hunting, when I hit 60s, those are kind of my set aside coins to where I truly keep anything in the 60s or older. So I was surprised that 60 was even in these quarters, because these were kind of looked at. Another 65 I just grabbed. I just grabbed an older looking one from the mat. My mat's just kind of like that. Another 65, so. So here again, I'm just kind of looking to see if there's an absolute standout die chip, or, you know, a die crack that runs the whole length of a coin or something like that. Because the lettering is so worn and stuff, you really can't pick much up off of it. You're doing a fine job on it. Oh, well, thank you, Little. Like I said, if you hang around the channel enough, you're gonna realize that I don't do too much for views. Here's a P. And I think between the two types of streams I do, I mean, I like doing this, and this is fun, but I think I much more enjoy the coin roll hunt. I don't know, I think it's maybe because it goes a little faster. Another 65. Oh yeah, you know, and I've always said investable. You've been here long enough. You've probably heard me say it. I would rather have 100 or 200 subscribers and have some people hang around like this on these lives than 1,000 subscribers that somebody never watches again, even though they subscribe. Man, what is with the 65? So this was obviously, this pile, I must have thrown some pocket change into this pile along with some of these uncirculated things that my grandfather picked up. Garbage. I'm guessing GPK, just because I am into cards too. I'm guessing you're talking garbage pail kids. So here's one that I didn't realize was in this set of coins. So here's a D. I don't know flip the page. Oh, it is the 2004 D that's on. So we got a shot at the extra leaf, and it's not there. I wonder if there's any more Wisconsins. in this pile. And here's another crossing the Delaware. No hat, chip, no sleeve. I'd have to go back and I'd have to research this again if there's like a very popular air beyond that hat and sleeve chip. And where am I at on time here? Because an hour. So yeah, this probably be a 2-hour sit around today. I try to do the streams where I do like a coin roll hunt. I try to keep them at an hour. So like the other night I grabbed two. What did I grab the other night when I did it? 2 nickel rolls, 1 penny roll, and 1 small coin dollar roll. And makes about an hour live stream, you know, to go through and search that and stuff. You know, but I mean I've got plenty. Well, that's not gonna focus. Got plenty of stuff but I just don't like sitting and going through a ton of rolls like in one stream. Pretty well worn 84. Here's a different one we haven't seen yet. A P. And here you have the opportunity for the blind bat. Supposedly there's a big old die chip on the eye of Mama Bat on some if you can find it. I don't know if it's on just the P or D. I don't know where that one has been documented. Alaska. Extra claw. Don't look like it. Does not look like there's an extra claw there. And no die chips or anything. It looks like pretty clean. Pretty clean 2008 there. So this must be a handful of these 21s. 4 keeps. Another crossing the Delaware. A little bit of wear on that. Nothing that stands out there. Hey, zombie. Oh, here's another Minnesota, but if it's not a P, we ain't got a shot. Oh, it's a D. So more likely no extra tree because it's not the Philadelphia. It's going pretty good. Just getting through my last pile of quarters that haven't been under the microscope. It's a long process when you essentially have like a personal collection policy of everything hits the microscope regardless. Rather than just go after the big name errors. I mean, I like to look for things that just, you know, they aren't in a book or they're not. So that ends up making it to where I essentially every coin I have hits the microscope before it gets to the point of going in a certain bucket that ends up getting turned in and more coins bought with. So this one at some point was a more likely an ender in a roll, because you can see right at the bottom of pluribus and unum, and then going across the G and across that E, you can see it across the sword. It was at some point an ender in probably a bankroll. Eisenhower bicentennial a couple weeks ago. I would say it depends on the year, the Eisenhower. Well, the bicentennial, yeah, okay, you did say bicentennial. It might be eBay insanity. Yeah, that's the other thing, you know, Investable makes a good point, you know, graded or raw. I mean, one of the things that I like to do is, I don't know if you need an account to be able to do it, but you can kind of really check some. Obviously, these are going to be graded ones, but you can go to PCGS and check kind of the general area of like what graded prices are, you know, and then compare that to, you know, the fact that you're seeing a raw one. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'd have to look at those eBay listings to see what exactly they're saying is they're trying to sell for that. I'm not a big Eisenhower fan as far as the coin itself. I'm much more a fan of the small dollars. So like the Sacagaweas, or for sure the presidential dollars. Got a lot of these, so let's just spin through these. And I'm actually a fan of the Susan B. Anthony's. A lot of people hate them. I mean, I think they're actually kind of a hated coin in the hobby. But I don't know, there's something about them. They seem old to me, you know. They're not. They're 79 and 80s. But just the coin design and stuff, it's got that I almost say like a Civil War feel to them because of who it is and stuff on the coin. So I don't care. I'm a fan of Susan B. Anthony's. That's another, I wouldn't call it essentially an error, I guess, but it's definitely another variety that I'm chasing, is trying to find that Susan B. Anthony where the date is close to the rim. I think they call it like near rim or near date or something like that. Let's see, what do we got? We got anything that... Is it 66?
I was born up in the mountain, raised by an old grizzly bear.
It'd be hard to get any double dying off of a 66, that's for sure. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. I mean, funny thing is, you say that, so stream's kind of going all over the place here this morning, but so you when you say that it kind of was like a way to save money, so I'm gonna find them here. So here's my star notes. So unfortunately, and I kind of joke about it because it's like, unfortunately, I think this is my only star note that I've found that's not a $100 bill. And I'm like, for crying out loud, could I please find a star note that's not a $100 bill? Because it's like, I put it into the collection then, and it's like I don't want to sell or don't want to spend it. Pirate money. That crown big? So this crown bag here is yet to be gone through. And this crown bag is nothing but wheat. Found a 50-star one. I just want to find, I would prefer to find things that aren't 100, because I can take a $100 bill and go buy something. So these are all mostly 40s and there. That one's a 46. Find ones and fives. I've not found a 1 or a 5 or a 10. I've got that 120 and the rest of them are hundreds. So this whole crown bag is nothing but wheats that still have to be essentially searched. I don't even know if I can get this on the desk. This is all he had this labeled as, they're all pre-82s. So I don't know what's gonna, there's a nice toner. Like, what is this? That's an 81. So these are all copper. You know, try to do this without, I mean, I don't know, there's 10, 15 pounds. But those all have to be searched at some point on the channel. Trinary 1. Spent it though. So all those coppers have to be gone through at some point. All those that Crown Royal bag of wheats have to be gone through. We're gonna be doing a lot on the channel over the next. However, here's another Minnesota. Can we make it a P? Can this be a P? Please be a P. Oh, it's a Minnesota P. It's a Philadelphia. So let's check the front. Front looks clean. My coolest was a 50 from 1932. Then a bit later, got a 20 from the same year. Not silver certificate. Oh yeah, anything old like that. I'm a collector of the old stuff like that. No extra tree. And it was a P. Yeah. That would have been cool to hit that out of this pile of general stuff. I saw you say something about working at a gas station, and I think I missed that comment. There. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's the cool thing about like working at any place of currency, you know? I mean, you have an opportunity to essentially search beat up D, search the register. This is what I saw. This was another Minnesota, but extra trees are really only on the Philadelphia, so just looking for anything that stands out. Alright, let's... Oh, here's a Minnesota. So this pile on the desk truly is all over the place. Here's a P. A little bit better shape for her. No extra tree. More 1921 Morgan dollar. So I'm not a big fan of like the Morgan dollars and stuff, but I do grab them. So I had this one come from me getting the collection. And then this one I picked up the other day. I don't know, last week or something like that. I might have done a video about this. About picking this one up. Because I don't know if it's in a video or not. But what I'm doing is so like as a collector, everybody has kind of like the things they collect, you know, or they niche down into a certain thing, like whether it's nickels or dimes or whatever you want to collect. Well, what I'm doing is I'm coin chasing all the coins from the Wyatt Earp era and the Doc Holliday era, which are essentially the same era, you know. And then Billy the Kid, he's got a little bit later birth year. So I want to get all the denominations of essentially Wyatt Earp's birth year. And then 1881 is the year of the OK Corral shootout. So trying to get all the denominations in the different coins in 1881. And then 1929 is Wyatt Earp's, the year Wyatt Earp died. So I'm trying to do all the coins from 29. And then Doc Holliday, I'm trying to do all of his birth year coins, all of his death year coins. And then I have 1881 and Doc Holliday too on my list, because He was also involved in the OK Corral shootout. And then Billy the Kid, his birth year is 59, and the year he died was 81. So like when I buy a coin like this for the chase, the 1881 Morgan dollar, when I buy that, it essentially covers 1881 in White Earp, 1881 in Doc Holliday, and 1881 in Billy the Kid. But I think eventually, once I have essentially the collection filled out, is I will try to, because 1881 is in all three of their years, I'll get one to put into each of the collections for each person. I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm rambling. Probably makes no sense whatsoever. I try to explain it to people and what I'm doing. Some damage. $1889. Oh, that's a bummer. I'm hoping. I think Investable Collectible was the only one in here when I mentioned it. Spitting Horse? No Spitting Horse. I got a new metal detector coming, so we're gonna start metal detecting too and seeing what we can pull out of the ground. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, I know, Investable. I know you're into the gemstones, and I like watching those videos that you do on the gemstones. A lot of wear on that. 1999. So I found this. So this is actually a coin. Was one of the very first. So this here, I'll give you an example. So this is a 99, like the coin I just looked at. And it's probably not going to show up through, maybe it will, through the plastic of the 2x2. I'm going to zoom in. This is the first time I thought I had a double die, and that was before I truly knew the difference between a double die and double striking. So it doesn't want to show as good through the plastic, but if you look at the O and the D, you can really see that they're both doubled on the right, or on the right or the east side. So like you can see a doubling on the O right there. You can see the doubling on the D. You can see it on the inside of the D. You can see it pretty well on the S. Even the A has got a little bit on the side there. But it turns out that that's not double dyeing. It's actually double striking, or mechanical striking, if you want to call it that. I saved the coin anyways, just because it shows up much better outside of the 2x2 flip. Let's see, what else? Do we have anything with a known, truly a known opals, turquoise. I like turquoise. Turquoise is actually one of my favorite colors. You know, or that baby blue. The D. I saw this was a Minnesota, but it's a D, so really no shot at the extra tree. All right, I'm just going to start spinning this pile now just to get through them. 1970. I'm not so much into gems like you, Investable, but I definitely am always watching the ground, like for agates and stuff. I love like agate hunting. I don't know if it's showing up on screen or not here, but see how the top of the E and the S almost look like it's doubled to some extent, and it could be double striped. But as you move coins too within the microscope, things will disappear. And that's kind of why you got to kind of like really determine what you got when you start seeing something. And that's why I was saying earlier, I just like to not have a question about it and just be like, you know what? I don't have to convince myself that that's the error, and I won't have to convince somebody else that's the error. So here you're looking for the leaky bucket, which is a big die chip on the bucket and stuff, or some die chips in the windows. 1/3 mile marker 132, and then I'll have to write that down because that probably ain't too far from me. Actually, probably ain't too far from both of us. Actually, nothing in the upper window, and then in this one you can find what they call snow on the roof, which would be pretty good sized die chipping on the roof. And this probably was the coin, because it was a P, so that probably was a coin that had an opportunity to have it. Pretty clean, pretty clean, pretty clean. All right. We got a half hour yet before we hit 2 hours. I'm gonna do another half hour. Wherever that gets me through this pile on the mat, and then I will call it a stream for this morning. Half hour though will probably about 3 hours for you, Investable. I guess I don't know where 132 is going to be for me. No spitting horse. I don't know if the spitting horse is actually like a die crack or what creates that, but there's a spitting horse error that you will definitely see, like a straight line coming down from the horse. 71. It came up with Washington. And we're quite a ways from Washington State. I forget where you said in Vestival you actually are. Did you say you were in Hibbing or something? I was almost going to have to take a trip to Reamer. Where's Reamer compared to you? I would have ended up making the trip Wednesday or something like that. Good pocket wear. Bemidji. Okay. So where's Reamer? How far is Reamer from Bemidji? Or do you not know for sure? South? I was going to buy an old antique shotgun, and it probably could have been shot with like light loads on an auction south, so it's only an hour from you. It probably would have been more of a wall hanger for me, either here in the office or out at the hunting shack, but I didn't bid on it as much as I should have probably got it. But then I was like, I can probably find the same thing locally for maybe a little cheaper than what that bid was going for. See, 23p. And I actually thought of that too when I was looking at bidding on that shotgun. I'm like, Reamer might be pretty close to investable. No flaming wings. I almost want to say there's something other than the flaming wings on this quarter that you could be looking for, but I think it's a die chip somewhere that should just probably stand out if you actually do see it. I don't know if we've looked at this design yet. Nothing stands out there. Tell you the truth, I don't know if my microscope camera is going to hold out for the half hour. So this is in Alaska. We're looking for what looks to be more than normal claws. Looks pretty normal. Oh, here's a Minnesota. Is it a P? Nope. Denver. Other than a possible chip or crack. Let's see, what else we got that we've got a known error on. Here's another cabin. Glen Godry Trust. Obviously was a ender at some point. That go pretty much all the way around. Yeah, pretty close. Probably a roll end at some point. So no die chip on the bucket. They say you can also find kind of a die chip on top of the pump. Nothing in the windows and no snow on the roof. Looks like there's a handful of these on the mat. I don't know if there is a known documented on the Colorado anywhere. Oh, here we go. Here's another cross in the Delaware. A D. Thinking tonight they probably will do at some point this evening. Do a coin roll hunt. Another handful of maybe 2 rolls of nickels and one roll of pennies and then 1 roll of dollars. We'll see if we hit anything. That last hunt, nothing older than the 60s. I think I got a couple 64s. This is a Wisconsin D. Extra leaf, I think is extra leaf on the Denver or the Philadelphia. What is on the Denver? I always forget about this one. Not there, though. The extra leaf in this actually is got in good condition. Has been going for pretty good money. And then even better in graded. Let's see what else we got. We got looks like it was older. Yeah, 90. Philadelphia. Nothing that stands out. What else we got here? Here's another cross in the Delaware. Denver. I was wondering if that was something on it. Looks like I moved it. Yeah, I moved it off there. Nothing on the hat. Don't look like we have anything on the sleeve. I want to say, if I remember right, I thought I saw something about somebody finding one kind of on the sword blade. That could be my mind making things up, though, too. I don't know. Here's an Alaska. Oh, that's a P. Nothing out of the ordinary on the front. It looks like there could be like a little bit of a chip or something in between those two claws. Actually, it kind of looks... Let's bring her down in close. Definitely looks like there's probably like a dye chip or something in there. But not the significant other claw, in my opinion. I just want to see what the old book says real quick about it. Might not even be the book that has it. Yeah, exactly, and that's kind of the way I was looking at it. It looks very blobbish. I think maybe worst case scenario, or best case scenario, maybe you're looking at a dye chip. I think Alaska was in this book. Or I was mistaken and Alaska isn't in any books. I don't think Alaska is in any books, but it definitely looks like it's a little blob. I completely agree with you, Investable. See, but this goes to like what I was talking about before, is that, can you say that that's truly, you know, maybe a little dye chip in between the claws, you know, or is the fact that the coin's seen some circulation, is it just damage? But I'm going to keep that one aside just for a bit. I might look into that one a little bit more. Let's see, what else do we got here? Getting close to wrapping it up, I think. You're back into focus. Mississippi, off the top of my head, I don't know if there's a documented Mississippi error. We might go errorless this morning, which is usually the way things go. Crossing the Delaware looks pretty clean. Really want to find that dye chip on the hat at some point. They say it's not a hard find. Anything else really worth looking at? I got a handful of, looks like 05 Kansas here. Let's take a look and see if there's something in the 05 Kansas. There's an error in the 05 proof coin, but we ain't got any proofs on the table. That's look like there's anything in that one that, so we might be to the point of just spinning some coins quick here for the next 10 minutes or so, looking for anything that stands out, and then calling it a morning. Oh, that was definitely an ender at some point. The old ring of death. The old ring of death. $16. You still hanging out, investable? Mic is starting to go wonky. I don't think I have a single coin on the mat now that I have a known error of. Got some 07 Washingtons, and I'm not sure if there's anything. Throw a couple of them just for kicks before we call it a stream. This is a high luster, still in good shape coin. A little bit of ring of death. think these are going to be a lot of Denvers too. I think I've seen people talk about like a dye chip around the fish or something. I don't remember exactly. I think I have a whole roll of those too. Yeah. $2022. I think part of the reason I'm not a big fan of like the women series quarters is that they are such a that busy design. I like a cleaner look, I think. And that probably just comes from being an error searcher, that it's harder to like just quickly pick out an error on the designs that are a little more, have more detail on them. There's another Alaska. Or no, that's not. Thought that was a bear. Not once did we play a game. There's one we have in Rhode Island. And it's a Philadelphia. Meet up for trades and rock hunts. The dude, man, where's he from then? Probably another 10 minutes, and then I'm going to call it a stream there, Investable. Yeah, we're at 150. We'll make this a 2-hour morning live. I've got to refill the coffee. I think we'll do a Brimson, Minnesota. Okay. I think we'll do a point hunt tonight. Later this evening. Do a coin roll hunt. do not know if there's anything on a 2000 North Carolina, or is that a South Carolina? That's South Carolina. For errors, the other thing it seems like is most of like the real documented errors come out of the Philadelphia Mint. I don't know why that is. I mean, granted, there's other errors on Denver minted coins, but just doesn't seem to be as prevalent as on Philadelphia. But definitely a lot of different errors to keep up on and keep on your mind as you're. That's why I've typically got lists, I got books. Some of them are just so well known that you just know them once you start looking at coins. Yeah, they say possibly older equipment. But maybe not even so much the equipment as the die itself. You know, there's a lot of errors that at some point maybe I'll probably talk about them at some point, or get examples of them in different. The error is actually like 3 different die states, where there's like what they call an early die state, a mid die state, and then what is a late die state, which you can see the particular error in different stages of the die, where it shows up stronger on one end of the die state than the other end of the die state. But I would totally agree with you, Vestibule. I mean, equipment itself, too. I always get excited, though, when I see a Philadelphia mint mark, or no mint mark, meaning Philadelphia. Because that means for some reason in my mind, it makes me feel like I have a better shot at finding something. And in the well-documented ones, I mean, most of them are documented either on the P or the D. They're not on both. And you sometimes have to work a little bit to distinguish, you know, is it a mint die error, or is it just straight up damage? That goes back to why I like to find the ones that there just is no debate on it. It's like, yeah, that is definitely either the documented error, or it's just such a die crack or a die chip that you just know it is. Because it's so out of place. Which really, for the most part, to me, seems like die chips are the ones that are going to be like, oh, yeah, that's obviously that's not supposed to be there. Looks like this might have been an ender at some point. A little bit of a ring of death there. Definitely right there. Well, I think we're skunked this morning there, Investable. That looked like I saw something that I passed by. Well, this is what I left on the mat that essentially I did not send through yet. But I'll do that just off screen. I don't think there's going to be anything. If there is, I'll cut a video out of it. But I definitely need my second cup of coffee this morning. Like I said, maybe tonight, if things work out, I'm going to do a little coin roll hunt for an hour. See if we can hit some nickels. Do a penny roll. I think I'll do what I did the other night. That made it for like a perfect stream, actually. It was 2 nickel rolls, 1 penny roll, and 1 small dollar coin roll. Actually, it wasn't a bad hunt, but there was nothing crazy. Let's see if this will. So, from the third. It was really only 3 coins I put in here from the other night. 70, 10, 10. That Sacagawea is down. Just 2020, $1 million, 1.2 million for vintage. Not intended for circulation. Couple 64 nickels that don't go in that thing, but other than that, that's what we had the other night. Let's see, what is it? Oh, that's the Alaska. I was going to look at closer and make a determination. But I think I will call it a morning. Investable Collectibles, you are a man for hanging out. Much appreciated. Always fun to have somebody to BS with while I'm sending coins under the microscope. For Keeps, Zombie. Like I say at the end of every stream, I appreciate you guys that do hang out for the duration and give me a little conversation. Like I said, the metal detector's on order. We're going to do some digging. What else we got going? Like I said, the coin roll hunt maybe this evening for an hour. Other than that, investable, collectible, For Keeps, Zombie, Littlefoot. Thanks for hanging out, guys. We'll maybe talk to you next time or even later today, this evening. Take it easy, guys.